Hello guys, today I want to talk about the routing protocol of ISIS. Normally this routing protocol used in data centers and I will explain you why we use this routing mostly in data center. The ISIS somehow is like a OSPF, it is link state and normally we have a database in OSPF. Before we talk about LSDB, LS database, but in ISIS we have LSP. So just the name of the link state is different a little, and I will explain you about it. Okay, so let me tell you that normally ISIS use in SDA access uh, in here in underlay. This is our fabric, and this is the edge of the uh, up that we are connecting the DNA center, ISE, and other controlling. So we set the ISIS here for some purpose. ISIS give you some facility TLV that we will talk about it. If you check it, ISIS has a format that first from the end system connect to the intermediate system, and from the intermediate system to intermediate system, this header will be used between the routers. And the format is like this. Uh, it is ES to IS from end system to intermediate system, and from the between the routers is ISIS. This is the ISIS, and you will see the format of CLNS that make the CLNP. That the CLNP is some kind of the information that we can use it for the routing and get the information. There is so many information inside this packet. Normally, the format of CLNS is like this. For example, I will show you in a laboratory how make this area, and after that we can set the ID. This ID you can set it also manually, and here NSEL is like a port that normally by default set 00. In ISIS we have three type. We have a type level 1, type level 1, then we have a type level 1 dash 2, and sorry, just I correct them, and type level 2. Just let me explain you about this type of the ISIS. You get some idea that what is this type. Look at this area. This is area 2. In area 2, we have just some routers is inside this area, and they don't have any connection with other area. In these routers, we will set uh, type 1 for ISIS, but this router is connected to the other area. So for this router is connected to the other area, we set it the type 1-2. It means that from another side connect to the type of 1, level 1, and from other side connect to the area. It is like ABR. It's like area border routers that in OSPF we use. And we have another type of level 2. I will set the level 2 here, and I will show you the duty of level 2 is like a transit. How we use in a three-tier architecture in core is just transit, send the traffics, and nothing else, the duty of type 2. I will explain you why we set here type 2, not type level 1, 2. Let's go for configuration step by step, and you will understand it more. So I will start from router 1 to start to configure the ISIS. In this video, just I'm talking about the basic concept and configuration of ISIS, not deeply, just give you some idea. Normally, the guys that are working on data center, they must deeply learn about it. So I will write it router ISIS. I put the name of Cisco. So now I want to make this ID that talked before about it. It is CLNS. CLNS, it means connectionless mode network service. Say we have IP connection between these router, but for ISIS we don't use the header of the IP. In fact, we set another header that the name is CLNS and it is connectionless. It's not. Um, you can see there is no information about IP of the interfaces in this header, and we can use it like this. 49 is like that, it is like a local ID, so I set it here. Sorry, 49. Then the area, we are in area 2, I set it 0002. Then I need to use some unique ID. I can set it, for example, I make it like this. I come here and says, for example, it is 12 1 1 1 1 1 1 1. The next 2 2 2 2 2. But it is risky, and maybe we make a mistake and we do some duplicate. Normally, the things that I do it, I go and check, for example, interface F00. I say show interface F00, and I see the MAC address of this interface because the MAC address is unique. So I use this address for that part. So again, I will go in configuration, in router ISIS Cisco. Then I write net 49 area 0002 and copy this MAC address here, and as I told you, NSEL is 00, same format, you can see. So I set my net ID here. Then I must give the information that this router is type level 1 or 2 or 1 2. This is type level 1. As we told that we are just here, the communication is inside the area, not the other side. So I write it IS type level just 1. Okay. After that, I set this routing. I will come out. I will go now in interface of F00 and F10. So I write it interface range F00 F10. Also, I will set in the interfaces IP router ISIS Cisco. Okay, now I will go to configure the router 3. It's better we start router 3. I will go in conf says router ISIS Cisco. Oh, sorry, it's better we get the interface of one of the interfaces, the MAC address. For example, I get it F10. So I write show interface F1/0. I copy the MAC address. Okay. So now I am going in configuration, router ISIS Cisco and check net 49 area 0002 2. I copy the MAC, then 00 NSEL IS type. So we know router 3 is type level 1, so we choose level 1. We go out and we will go in interface of F00 and F01. Interface range F00 and F1/0 IP route ISIS Cisco. So we active this routing in the interfaces. Now I am going in R2. Okay, it's better we get a copy one of the MAC address of the interfaces. For example, I get it F20. No different. So I copy this. Okay, so configuration router ISIS Cisco net net 49.0.0.0.2, then paste the MAC and 00 IS dash type. Okay, so here this router works like a ABR connected to the other area, so we choose this one. If I make a question mark, you will see we have level 1, level 1 2 says act as both station router and area router. You can see this one, so I choose it level 1-2. Okay, so we set this area. Now I will go to config this area, router 7, 5 and 6. I start with 6. Okay, I get the interface of MAC address of one of the interfaces here, for example F1/0. Okay, I copy. So I am going in configuration, router ISIS Cisco net 49, the ID of local 000. Here area is 6, so I'll make it 6 and paste the MAC address here and then 00 IS dash type level. It is level 1. It is just inside this area, so I set it level 1. I will come out. I will go in interface range F00 and F1/0. I set IP router ISIS Cisco. Cisco. Okay, so it's about R6. Now R5. I show interface F00. I copy this MAC. Okay, so I'm going in configuration, router ISIS Cisco net 49.0.0.0.6, then the MAC and 00. You know R5 is in this area, so we set it just type level 1. level 1. That's it. Now I config R7. Show interface F30, for example. I copy the MAC. Okay. Configuration, router, IS, Cisco, net 49, 0006, copy MAC, 00, IS dash type. Here is ABR, so we set it level 1-2. And now go in interface of interface range F00, F10, F20, and F30, and write route IP router ISIS Cisco. Just I want to be sure in interface of R2 we set it. No, I think I forget to set in the interface of R2, so I must go in interface range F00, F10, and F20, F30. I forgot it to write it in the interfaces. I will router ISIS Cisco. Okay, so R2 is correct configuration, R7 also set. Now I am going in R4. Okay, show interface F00. I copy the MAC. So configuration, router, ISIS, Cisco, net 49, 000, area is 4, so I set it 4, copy, and 00 for NSEL, and IS dash type level, we set it here 2, then I will explain you what's the difference exactly. So I'm going out, I'm going in interface F00 and F10, IP router IS Cisco. Okay, so let me check. I am going now in R2 and just let me check show ISIS neighbors. Okay, see from R2 I can see R4, R1, R7, R3, everything is fine. Look, here shows that R2 connect to R4 bar L2 type. R1 and R3 is level 1 and R7 is level 2. You can so here also see. Also the information of the IP is here, but now we are talking about that ISIS and the IP is not in the information. But when we run this routing, now if I say show IP route ISIS, You can see now here in this area R2 also learn the range of the other area by this protocol, and you can see all the range shows here and says that okay, I learned this route from level 1, it is in my area, but level 2 it means that this route comes from the other area. And also you can check the database by show ISIS uh, topology. You can watch all the information here. It's about level 1, level 2, which routers. Also, you can practice about show ISIS, uh, ISIS, and you can see we have here so many things that you can check it by yourself. Uh, Let me go in router 1 and just see the IP route from there. Show IP route ISIS, but you can see here it shows the route from the inside. But if you want to ping the other route, just take a look here. What is this default route? It shows that if you want to contact with the other IP, router 2 is our gateway. If you check router 3 also, it shows that I have a default route, and the default route is from the interface of F00. Here also the router 1 says that if you want go and can ping to the others or contact with the other IP routes, you can go through router 2. So when we set type level 1, 2, this router will be gateway. So if you check router 7, also router 7 is gateway for R5 and R6. Let's go in R5 and just write show IP route ISIS. Oh, there is a problem here. I think we didn't. Oh, we forgot to set the interfaces. Interface range R5 F00 F10 IP router ISIS Cisco. Sorry, I forgot to configure the interfaces, so the routing it's not working here. Okay, now let's check. Show IP route ISIS. Okay, so now you can see in router 5 also shows the gateway via this IP. It means it is the interface of here. Maybe I can bring it here that you can see clearly. So this router will be gateway for R5 and R6. In same gateway will be set for R6 also. Just I want to show you. Show IP route ISIS. Okay, we have a default gateway here. So when we set the type 1, 2, it means these routers will be the gateway. But let's go and check the R4. We set it as a just level 2, not 1, 2. And if I say show IP route ISIS, you can see there is no default gateway here. Just the duty of router 4 is just like a transit. It can just send the traffic and nothing else. So never in the area same as we say that, for example, in a core, in a layer architecture, we have a core, distribute, and we have access. In core, the duty of the core routers is just send the traffics. And here also the R4, just the duty is transfer. And because of this, we set it level 2. If we make this router also type level 1 and 2, then this router also set a gateway, default gateway, and maybe suboptimal happen, and the route goes in wrong way. So we never set it type 1, 2. Only in ABR we set it 1, 2. So here is the gateway and the routers route transfer and goes in a correct way. Something else that I can show you just for your information, if we go in a router ISIS Cisco, you can also see all this information. For example, you know it very well about redistribute. We can you can just watch all these function. It's just for getting the idea. If, if I write redistribute, and I can redistribute BGP, EIGRP, other ISIS, ODR, OSPF version 3, REAP, static route, VRF. So we can redistribute anything that we want to advertise. And let me show you and talk about some information. In header of ISIS, we have time length value. Time length value. If you check it, intermediate system, ISIS TLV. You can imagine the TLV, you have a boat. Okay, in boat, the boat doesn't care that you are carrying water, you are carrying metal, you are carrying anything that you want, you can carry. And TLV exactly do it like this. Anything that you want to advertise, if you check the TLV information, you can see in TLV details we have so many information, and uh, by the also the LSP is our database that I told you is like a LSDB in OSPF. Information of the neighbors, prefix neighbors, ES neighbors, everything, all the information here. And the TLV is valuable and is a good facility that advertise the route. Anything you can do it, tag it, and advertise it. This is the facility that normally in STA access use in underlay for fabric and the STA access. This is the most usually command routing protocol that is useful for this purpose. Something else, for example, if you want to make a authentication, just for your information, you can go in the interfaces of the that you are the interface. For example, here is router 4 F10 and F00. I can write it interface range F00 and F10. Then I write uh, sorry ISIS, yes, authentication. And you can set the authentication here by keychain or the mode. You can different way of the authentication. You can set it in the interfaces, or you can do something else. We have another ways also. We can go in router configuration, ISIS Cisco, and here also, if make a question mark, you can see we have authentication also here. We can use this authentication. It shows that ISIS authentication for LSPS, for database. it will authenticate for the database transfer. Or you can set area password. We have different ways that which way you want to configuration authentication password. And just for your information, I think that we can, for example, capture the uh, transfer F30. Let's capture F30, just monitoring the data. Ah, unfortunately, my Wireshark not working. I wanted to show you that between R2 and R4, just transfer level 2, but in R2, between R2 and 3, the transfer is level 1. Uh, Sorry, my Wireshark not working. But you can just by yourself you can go and monitoring about the databases, open it and check it, all the information that transfer the traffic between them. I hope this information be useful for you, and have a nice day.